Music always keeps the body flowing. I'm a music fan. I love me some music, guys. As we all know, this is the CEO Wednesday Masterclass. I am your guide, Rachel L. Gary. And who I talk to here are inspiring leaders, either those who are looking to grow in leadership within a company, leadership in organization, or in leadership as the CEO of my life. And who are the CEOs? Those who are clear in their actions, empowered by their choices, and own their directions as the CEO. So today, you know what we're doing, guys. We are inventing yesterday and bringing and ushering in a new tomorrow. So let's do exactly what I do, dive right in. So the first thing is we're going to have 5 key things that we're going to talk about today. And these key things are things that stopped me in my life. So I'm sharing with you the steps I use, the criteria I use, and this allowed me to have better understanding of things around me, allow me to move better, move forward, be, do, and have a better life. So I don't talk from theory, guys. Everything that I'm going to talk about in the CEO Masterclass is things that I have done in my life, things that I have used in my life to allow me to go from a $7 an hour dock worker to a multi-6-figure operations manager and own several companies, along with being a multi-million-dollar in net worth. So all I'm going to talk about is facts, no fiction. And now let's dive right in. So the first thing we're going to talk about is acknowledge and accept. You have to acknowledge that a problem occurred, a situation occurred, so you can face your regrets. So you want to write down those regrets. We're not avoiding. We're going to stand up and accept responsibility, which is 2. The third thing is today, guys, we're going to forgive ourselves. So that's about acknowledging and accepting. So when you're facing your regrets and you're writing down what happened, this process helps you find the root cause of why a certain situation happened and what you can do to sidetrack it in the future. That's why you're writing it down. This is why you're facing the regret. If you avoid it, it potentially can happen again. We don't want anything that's going to happen again. We want to own up that it happened. We want to accept responsibility. And when you take ownership, what does that O in CEO? You're taking ownership for your actions, which means that you're accepting responsibility. It's the first step to moving forward and moving past and rid of regret. You can't live on regret. So that's why we're going to face up to what happened, get that down on paper, and start working through the root cause of why it happened. You're going to accept responsibility. What part did you play in whatever the situation was? And third, you're going to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself. You can't live on it forever. Because you know why? Because you're going to learn from it. You're going to learn from the situation. We're not going to hold on to the situation. We're going to learn. So when you're learning from your mistake, you got to analyze the situation. What happened? Why did it happen? And what can you do differently in the future? So when you're writing it down, I want you guys to take that opportunity. So what I'm giving you right now are steps to allow you to grow, develop, and accept things as they come, and quickly assess them so you can learn, grow, and move forward. We're not going backwards. We're moving forward. So from it, you want to identify the lesson. What happened, why it happened, and to figure out how to fix the situation. So let's give a quick for instance. So let's say that I always use real life experiences. So let's say that you have a car note and you bought a car for $900. And when you bought that car for $900, you had a job that you felt that you were going to be able to maintain that payment. Come to find out that as you started trying to make these payments, $900 was too much. So this is a perfect situation where you will write down, okay, why did I buy the car? So it's going into your psyche, what made you want the car? So when you make the decision that you wanted the car, your circumstances of life didn't change. So did you buy the car because you were looking to be cooler? The car was nicer? You had plans to go places with people in the car? What was your reason for buying the car? So that's the first step. You want to find out what you want to write down. Why? Why'd you do it? And it's not in a bad way. Why'd you do it? You want to have a clear understanding, to have a clear picture of what your thought process is. And I'm going to talk to you about why. So because you're going to analyze that situation. You're going to analyze, why did you buy the car? And you're going to go through the list of your whys. Okay, you bought the car because you wanted to look nice for a partner. You wanted to pull more people because you didn't have enough partners. So you want to go to the club and hang out with whatever significant others. Now, I'm not saying significant in the fact of somebody that you wanted to have for life. Significant as in you wanted to have somebody that have a good time with. So are you trying to do it so you can look fly, look cool for them? Whatever your purposes were, it allows you to analyze how your brain works and allows you to set yourself up with new tools so you won't make the same mistake twice. That's why you're writing it down, so you can analyze and make better decisions going forward. So the $900 car note, you could be stuck with the car note, as in now you're paying $900 for whatever period of time. Or this is the part where when you accept the responsibility, you accept the responsibility that I really can't afford this car note. I'm going to default on the loan. It's going to hurt my credit. What can I do? And there are certain things that you can do with a car dealership. But since we're not talking about the actual car itself, it's just an example, you will write down and figure out, is there a way for you to get out of the situation to move into a more stable place? So do you understand about when you accept the responsibility and start analyzing that responsibility of when things happen, it allows you to have a better outcome for the future. You didn't go backwards. You went to your thought process to figure out what you need to do going forward, not going backwards. And when you do that, it allows you to identify your lessons and sometimes seek guidance to help you through it. Call a car dealer. Call a salesman. Look it up on the information highway of the internet and find out if there's a possibility of you returning the car with little to no damage to your credit and get you a more affordable car. It's okay to say you made a mistake. That's when you're owning your direction. That's why you're accepting. You're acknowledging the mistake. You're accepting that you made a mistake. And what you're going to do from it is learn from that mistake so you can be better for tomorrow. So, as we were talking about, when you want to learn and you want to make sure that you grow. It's about growth. Growth is the main thing. And after you have analyzed it, we're still using that same example of the car. So after you analyzed it, you realize that you really can't afford the car. You have found a solution to give the car back and find you a car that has a more affordable payment. Now in the future, you're going to set different goals for when you are setting yourself up to make a purchase. So this is the learn, and this is the lessons that you're learning. So when you set yourself up for the next time that you're going to make any purchase, whether that's a house, a car, clothes, anything that you feel, anything that is above your means. And I say this using credit as well, guys. Hey, remember, my conversations are always straight, no chaser. Credit, if you can't, I'm going to tell you a story my grandma told me once. She said, if you can't afford to buy it, don't get a credit card to now purchase it. She said, because by the time you finish paying for it, you've doubled how much the item costs. So you can't afford it, don't buy it. Hey, I'm a believer in it. I have one credit card, and that credit card I buy things on it to keep my credit score going up, and then I pay it off at the end of the month. That is how I use my credit. And except my Home Depot card, guys. I tell y'all that's the only card that I keep a balance on, because it's always I'm buying something for one of the properties that I'm rehabbing. So that's the only thing that I keep a balance on, and it is usually in low minimum balance. So, sorry Zoom. Hey guys, I missed it again. Gotta hold myself accountable to making sure I put that on Do Not Disturb. But at the end of the day, guys, it really goes to you setting those clear goals for yourself going forward. So when you have an issue, you're accepting that you made a mistake. You analyze, you learn from the lessons. When you learn from the lessons, you set your next time that you're doing a task of that type. It doesn't have to be that you're going to be buying a car. It could be that you're just buying a bigger purchase, and you've learned from a previous purchase the steps in which you need to take to make sure that you don't make the same mistakes twice. And that's what it's about at the end of the day. Not making the same mistakes twice. And how do you set up your goal? You want to be specific. You want to create an action plan. And you want to get support if necessary. But you want to, as you're being in action, go back and reassess to make sure, am I following the steps to make sure I'm going to still be successful? And when you're at a point, at an impasse where you don't know what to do next, seek guidance, guys. Do not be afraid to ask for help. Help is not a bad word. I'm going to tell you, I asked for help today. A little bit about my day. So today, I was doing some things with my VA. My VA wasn't ready on a certain part of the project, so I had to call an old VA. I said, hey, I need this for the lender. Can you please go through all the files, all the data, and pull the information so I have all of that, all of my expenses lined up from these particular accounts. And it was help from somebody who I employed in the past. You cannot be somebody who feels that you have all the answers. You can't hold yourself to that standard. We're always living, learning, evolving. So put it in your mind that I don't have to have the answer, but I have to always seek assistance when I don't know. Be okay with that. You're not going to no one's going to think less of you because you asked the question. And if those people are thinking less than you, they're the wrong people in your circle. We'll keep that part in mind. So we want to keep people that are positive in our circle. So when we focus on the future, we're not going to focus on the past. We're going to focus on the present and the future selves. The present of what we're trying to do, and the future of what's the outcome we're looking for. So it goes to a book that I read by Stephen R. Covey, The Habits of Highly Effective People, where he says you think with the end in mind. So you're thinking in the present of what outcome you want for the future. I do everything thinking with the end in mind. I think of when I made the decision 8 months ago to take a step back from being in operations management to help individuals be successful in goal achievement. That was a leap. It wasn't a leap of faith. It was a leap of promise of that I was going to set clear intentions to make sure that I did exactly what I said I was going to do. So the reason for me doing it is because I wanted to make sure I helped individuals in a more effective way. That last year of employment, I had run across so many people, younger individuals who were in the workforce, who had no idea what to do with their lives. It wasn't the job that they had a problem with. It was things in their everyday life that were so difficult for them to deal with that they were bringing those things into the job. So I made a mental note when I was having meeting after meeting after meeting, because most of my workforce at the time was between the ages of 25 to 35. And their biggest problem they were having a problem with life's focus, with their family lives, with building for their family, with growing, with their children growing in age and then wanting to do more, have more, and be more for them. So that inspired me to take the step forward, because I was counseling them. I've been counseling people for years. When you're in leadership, you are leading a full person. You're not leading for a company. You're leading a person to help them grow. Grow in their lives, not just grow at an organization. So for me, I have been mentoring, coaching, and developing people for 25 years. So I already knew that I had the information because I had been given that information, helping people with buying houses, being their first time investors, getting stocks, getting bonds, being more focused in their lives, starting businesses. So I wasn't just helping individuals with work situations. I was helping them with life development that was going to help them grow. So that's what I mean about thinking of things with the end in mind. I want people to want my name to be synonymous with always being someone who is integritous and is a very helpful individual. When people are having a conversation at my memorial, I want them to say, Rachel helped without fail. Rachel always did what she said she was going to do. Every time. I'm big on my integrity, guys. Big on my integrity. So those two things, that's what I want people to be saying about it. I loved hard. I did what was necessary. I helped my family grow. I want those type of things to be said about me. So how do you make sure that those things are said about you? You have to deal with the present you. The present you has to start setting yourself up for the future that you're looking for. That's what goals are. Goals are future thoughts, future outcomes that you're looking to have. So to accept when things go bad, or things are wrong, or things that you haven't done correctly, that's life. We're all going to make bad decisions. What makes a bad decision horrific is when you continually make the bad decision. Don't own up for the mistake and don't try to rectify the problem. Today we're talking about rectifying the problem by accepting, acknowledging, learning, setting clear goals for the future, and moving forward. Get past the past. Let the past remain exactly where it is. You learn, you grew, you moved forward. That's what you have to do when things happen. You can't live in regret. You have to grow from it. So, and once you get that plan down, what did I say the second step was, guys? You have to take action. Action. Writing it down means that you acknowledge it. You've accepted that that you're learning and you're growing. You've now made a new plan. You must be in action towards that plan. Action towards your success. Action towards better tomorrows starting today. So I'm going to ask a question. If you want to have if you want to have $1,000 on Friday, so we're gonna use that you get your payday is weekly, and that this Friday you want $1,000. What do you have to do for the 5 to 7 days before it to get the $1,000? Somebody drop it in the chat. Either chat. So let's drop it in the chat, guys. You gotta put in work. So the action that you're taking for Friday's outcome. So if you're making $25 an hour, $25 an hour times 40 hours is what? Boom. There you go. So that's how you made it. You made it happen. Boom. You got the $1,000 on Friday. But you had activities you had to do to get there. Why? This is the honest question. Why do we know that to get paid on Friday, we must go to work Monday through Friday or Monday through Sunday for some people, because some people work 6 days, 7 days a week, to get the outcome of the amount of money that you're looking to have. But when it's time to grow you, to go from that $1,000 a week to $1,500 a week to $2,000 a week, you don't believe there's a different set of actions that must take place. Somebody give me some help. Why? How do you believe you're gonna go and have more money, but you don't have any new actions back here to get here? That's what's starting today. So if I want to make $1,500 by Friday, what do I need to change in my life Sunday through Thursday to get the money? I do know, guys, that payroll is usually a week in advance. So this is me just being hypothetical. So, but at the end of the day, different actions need to take place. Because whatever actions you've been doing thus far are making $1,000. To make $1,500, new actions must take place. To make $2,000, new actions plus new knowledge needs to take place. So you must grow in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Either you grow and get a second job, or you grow at the company that you're with into a new position. Either way, you must do new actions today to have a different outcome on Friday. That's what it's all about, guys. The goal that you set is the desire. That's what your desire is back here on today. The outcome of your desires are on Friday. So if you want success in having more money, being a leader, growing in your life, taking control of your life, you must do an action back here and continually moving forward to change the bar. The bar isn't rising unless you put some activity behind it to push it up. So the second you say you want to more, you want to do more, have more, be more, know that you must give more to get there. So I want to make sure that you guys understand action is necessary for growth. Period. There's no way around it. Either your lack thereof of action decreases the amount of money you make. Because think about this. If you start half working, let's say you go to work and you start doing half your work, eventually the employer is going to dismiss you as an employee. So the $1,000 you were making on Friday has now diminished to whatever unemployment gives you. That's if you are even able to get unemployment, because depending on why you got terminated, depends on if you get unemployment. My cousin works for the unemployment office. Should tell you, there were 2,000 workers laid off from a company because the company closed down. Those workers were making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. They went from $100,000 a year to getting under $1,000 every 2 weeks. Can you imagine the culture shock that was? So that's why I'm saying that your activities here always meet the outcome here. So we're going to be in action every time towards success. Today we start to have better tomorrows. Today we start to have better tomorrows. I want $1,500 a week. I'm making $700 a week. What do I have to do today to start the process of being able to get closer to the $1,500 I'm looking to have? That is what action is about. Making incremental changes in your life for success. Remember, guys, straight, no chasing. The information I provided today was exactly steps in which I have taken when I was ready to get rid of things that were holding me back. Regrets in any shape, form, or fashion. That's in relationships. That's in purchases. It's in your activities. You're going to regret something because you're going to make a mistake. Mistakes do not have to define your whole life. Even people who go to jail, when they get out of jail, get an opportunity to have a better future. What are you willing to do for your better tomorrows? Start doing them today. Get them down. Get rid of regret. Because regret holds you hostage. It holds you down. It weighs you down. You can not fix the past. You can learn from the past, grow from the past, make a better future, make better decisions so your future self can grow. That's what we do here in the CEO Masterclass. Find tips that are going to allow you to have better tomorrow starting today. So let's hit the Q&A, everybody. So I have 2 questions. So I want to, in the past, on the live event, I've been able to answer the questions that are actually being dropped in live. Currently, I've made some changes to how I'm accepting those questions. So if you're watching this video at a later time, if you're watching it on YouTube, please drop in the comments, or if you're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, drop it in my inbox. Any questions that you want to be asked or want answered on live. So I had 2 questions today. Question 1. So I have different experiences in my life with coaches. I've had bad coaches who have given me advice that has hurt me more than helped me. Why should I trust a coach? Guys, that was a mouthful of a question, but I'm going to be honest why I chose to answer it. I chose to answer it because I am a person who believes in being integrous. I am a coach. I coach aspiring leaders to grow and develop with themselves in an organization, in their businesses, and ultimately in their lives. To do that, I am very careful with making sure that I only tell you guys what I can deliver. A lot of coaches, this is not saying that the coaches are bad, are promising something that they might not be able to deliver. Or they are promising something that you might not clearly understand what you're buying. Now, what I have noticed, and as a guys, I don't want to go on a tangent because I don't know what specific coach happened here. But what I've noticed is that from the coaching industry, there are some bad characters who have book knowledge of a situation as opposed to have lived through those situations. I would say, if you're a person who's getting a coach, first get a set of questions. I'm not gonna tell you a set of questions just because I'm a coach, but I'll say questions I would ask me if I were you. I'll go that route. I would want to know, why do you think that you can help me? How do you think you can help me? And what is your criteria for setting up your program? Are you giving information? Are you giving information with a strategy? Are you giving information with a strategy and continued coaching? Finally, are you guaranteeing your results? I would ask those questions, guys. And I say it because I have a coach myself. I have a coach, I have two different types of coaches. Because I'm trying to grow myself in a multitude of ways. So I'll tell you that each of those coaches have a different way in which they do things. Now, so to answer the question thoroughly, ask complete questions. Do not allow the coach to just give you fancy conversation. Give the coach an opportunity to give you clear answers. Research. Has the coach really done the things that they say they're going to do? If they're a weight loss coach, are they in the gym? I'll give an answer to this. Is a coach that I know of. I know a coach who's a multimillionaire. The information that the coach is providing has nothing to do with how they made millions. So I'll use myself for instance. I have multi-millions of dollars of profit. If you ask me how I got the property, I can tell you. If you ask me how was I able to grow the company, I can tell you. If you ask me how to wash cars, can I give you a technique on how to wash cars from a book? Yes. Have I washed the car? No. So you want to ask specific questions, get specific answers before you move forward with a coach. Listen, I'm not the gracefulness of speakers, but I speak as honestly as possible and straight from my heart. There are a lot of people who, as our grandparents would say, have a silver tongue and speak real well, but don't have any factual information behind them. Ask the questions, get some answers before you move forward. That's what I would suggest. So, question 2. What have you learned from in your past that has helped you in the present? I want to say this. This is going to be a shameless plug. I have a book coming out in November. It is full of this answer. It's called Forged in Fire. So what I'm going to say to the question is life. Life is full of lessons. My entire life, your entire life, your friend's entire life, each of you guys have went through different experiences. Those experiences are unique to you. Two people could be in a room and the same situation can happen. It's going to hit those two different people differently. So you want to make sure, at the end of the day, guys, life happens. Life is a lesson. I'm telling you about my life experiences and how I learned from those lessons and how I grew and developed in the techniques in which I use. You in your life have techniques things that you do exceptionally well because you live those things. Live, learn, grow. That's what I will say out of life. So those are all my questions for today. So 7-day challenge, guys. You know, I'm always going to talk about it. It happens on the first full week of every single month. 7-day challenge 2.0 is where we party, have a good time, and we celebrate each other. The 7-day challenge is available all month long for you to be committed to your success. 3 small commitments, being consistent for 7 days. You can do it. Utilize it. It also comes with affirmation, and it's free. It's free. It's free to have structure. There's free to have discipline, and it's free to be committed to you. I just give you a path in which to utilize. So grab that 7-day challenge, and don't forget to drop it in the habits group when you grab it, because we want to celebrate with you. So I do want to celebrate some. I posted a couple of things in habits groups yesterday. I'm celebrating April and her accomplishment. Guys, we have to celebrate each other. I also celebrated Cherie Sloan. She has an upcoming birthday. She's doing 5 events in 1 week with a full-time job, guys. She has a full-time job a young kid at home who has a full-time business, and she's doing a 5-day tour, we'll call it. So I am celebrating when people are reaching their goals, setting clear direction, and moving forward. We all should clap for you. And clap for yourself for the small win that you had today. Whatever you did, that's great. Good or better than yesterday is an opportunity to celebrate. So I want everybody to remember, to have better tomorrows, you have to get started today. And no matter where you are, if you're on Zoom or Facebook, I want you guys to like it, comment, share that I go live every Wednesday. Share that I'm dropping gems. Let me know if I'm dropping gems. Or let me know if I'm not hitting it quite right for you. Either way, I appreciate you guys for taking out a moment of your time and sharing it with me. And until next week, I want you guys to be up, out, and moving to the greatness we all know lies within who? You, CEO. The CEO Masterclass is now closed.